it's not just wriggle room, it's room to have wild, frenetic dancing in. There's no control, no ability to actually protect the animals that are that are threatened, that are sliding towards extinction. I mean, let's move on. What are those improvements then? What sort of improvements in the management of these threatened species that's coming out of the review, either the plans or the review of the RFAs? Has there been an increase in budget towards protecting these species? What sort of confidence can the Australian community have that these species are going to be protected? Because I don't have any.
So, Senator, I guess if we move away from RFA lands to areas that are outside the RFAs, of which there's a lot of habitat still remaining for the species, particularly in Tasmania, but in other areas as well, the EPBC Act is constructed in such a way that it prevents or at least assesses significant impacts on a particular listed species. This species, as you say, has been listed for some time. Those protections have applied since it became first listed. This recovery plan provides additional guidance, I think quite useful guidance, but provides additional guidance to both proponents who might be proposing to take an action that could significantly impact, and to the assessment officers that assess those impacts within the department. So I think there is, it also, there's quite a lot of areas on private lands where these animals are found. There's also reserves, as you note, both within and outside the RFA areas.
But we know that there is significant threatening processes and significant threats to these animals in areas of forest that are covered by regional forest agreements. Do you know the paper that was done by David Lindenmayer et al. That was in Pacific Conservation Biology that released last year, the need for comprehensive reassessment of the regional forest agreements in Australia? From the perspective of threatened species, shouldn't the government be completely redoing the comprehensive regional assessments that the RFAs were based on? Or in fact scrapping the RFAs altogether and just shifting all logging out of native forest where these threatened species live?
Senator, you're taking us fully into the realm of policy advice now, which I think is probably beyond the scope of what we would
I know. I'm just incredibly frustrated when I see that there is just no power in the federal legislation in areas of forest covered by regional forest agreements. It's complete, it's a farce, it is. It's total greenwash.